hard. And this is one of the lessons you'll learn in business. Sometimes trying too hard is actually what makes you not succeed as fast.
When I was homeless, it didn't suck as bad as I thought it would because of that. Like, there's months where, whether it was one business or the other, there was no money, or I was late on rent or late on a car payment. As weird as it sounds, it didn't bother me. And I don't know if it didn't bother me, but I don't think it bothered me as much as it would if we were people who hadn't gone through things that actually sucked.
You can't exactly just like speed the process of becoming successful like overnight, like how a lot of people want. You learn from mistakes.
When you're just getting started in business, it's a massive learning curve, right? So you're scared to take a certain risk and try something that doesn't work out. But I'm starting to realize the most successful people, they take the information that they can, but they ultimately just go blaze a trail, dude. All right, boys. I think we can start now. I think what would be the best thing for us to do, just go around and...
I'm scared.
Okay, dude, this guy. I think the best thing for us to do is just go around and introduce ourselves. We can start with Trev, dude. Who are you? What do you do, man?
Well, my name's Trevor, and I scale businesses. And that's the boring answer, but the real answer, where do I even look? Is it that one?
In the middle of the two.
Either
of the two, yeah.
Were you talking to us too?
Yeah, no, isn't
Yeah.
it like that? Like
Yeah.
talk to each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but even just
Yeah, like
you
back and forth.
know, they don't know. On our channel, they don't know who you are.
Are we
On both
restarting
channels,
this or
so-
what?
Dude, we're just rolling, bro. Fuck it. We're just rolling, dude. All right, guys. So, no. I mean, just go ahead.
Yeah, so I work with Alex, and I do appointment setting, I do sales, and I build out some systems, and kind of work the behind the scenes part of the business.
Okay.
My name's John. I'm a sales psychology trainer and Tyler's business partner, and I kill it.
Hopefully, you guys know me by now on my channel, but for those of you on Tyler's channel, Alex here, co-founder of the DBA. We work with business owners to help them scale with paid acquisition.
Yeah. Tyler, you guys once again should know me. If you don't know, on Alex's channel. Basically, same thing. Me and Alex are the face of the content on our businesses, and John's business partner runs the back end of stuff. So let Christian take over.
My name's Christian. Started off with an agency helping realtors, and I transitioned that into consulting, and then right now I'm helping agency owners scale and realtors at the same time. That's kind of what I do.
Awesome. All right, so now that the awkward icebreaking is over, I had a ton of questions that I want to ask these guys. I know it doesn't look like it, but we're pretty good friends. And just meeting you guys for the first time, and literally just met Christian like 20 minutes ago.
First time in person.
In person, I will say.
Yeah,
We're
we've been
part,
all talking for months and months and months.
right.
Yeah.
So we're part of a couple of different masterminds. How old are we, guys? I'm 23.
25.
21.
20.
21.
Yeah, so we're pretty young, dude, and we all have this hunger and desire to just be really successful in business, help others, create a ton of impact, and make a ton of money doing it. But I have a list of questions I want to ask these guys that I think will be really, really fun. The first one is favorite travel story, right? So we're now in Tampa, by the way. We got this nice Airbnb. We all like to travel. I kind of want to start off with myself. One of my favorite travel stories is probably, been to a couple different places, but one of my favorite places is probably going to Mexico. I love Mexico because I'm the type of person, where I live now in Connecticut, you have to drive to go anywhere. But in Mexico, Playa del Carmen specifically, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Walking distance, you could walk to go anywhere. A lot of nice food, a lot of nice people. And my favorite probably memory or story is when we first touched down there. First thing we do, we're getting groceries and everything. We're trying to walk the city. I think when we went to the main strip, I think the first thing someone told me was like, "Do you want cocaine?" I was like, "All right, yeah, I know that where I am right now, this is the best place in the world." No, all jokes aside, it was just fun because it was like a different environment. And when you live in like the U.S. and everybody's so uptight, everyone is rushing to get from one destination to the next, it really felt nice just kind of going somewhere and just everyone was happy. It was the first time I've ever been somewhere where everyone's smiling, everyone's having a good time, everyone looks happy and jolly, and it radiates off of me. So definitely Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Really
Have you ever
nice.
been to Europe?
I did. Went to Paris with my family. My family and I, we try to take a family trip every year. Went to Paris, and Paris was really nice, dude. We went to Nice, which used to be Italy, but the French colony took over it.
Yeah.
Nice, same thing. Beautiful.
Want to go, dude?
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice.
I've only been to like Spain.
Been to Spain?
Yeah.
How was Spain?
It was good. I mean, it was a couple years ago, so I was obviously really young. But Madrid and Barcelona, it was just completely different. I mean, I'm from Brickell, like Miami, and it's just night and day. I want to travel like all of Europe. Like I was telling you guys, that's the goal, dude. You know, just kind of bounce around countries.
Yeah.
I think you're feeling the same energy, yeah?
Yeah, I think once we get to a certain number per month that we have in mind with our business, we all talked about doing like a country a month or two, that was something that Christian and I were talking about one time, and then I brought it up to John, and I mean now you guys too are all into this, but just doing like one country every month or two and just going for whatever, a year or two, and just hit a bunch of different places.
It's dope, dude. It's that whole conversation about like, you know how some people they'll like ball out like Rolexes, they'll get the Porsche, right, and then they'll just kind of stay in like New York, LA, Miami, versus like spending now like in our early 20s, going like just traveling. Like that's where we spend our money, meeting all these new people, connections.
He's the only one with the watch on here. Tyler.
I don't know where it is.
I thought it was on the other end.
No, but
None of us
meeting
have a watch
all
on.
new people and stuff, and like the cultures, that's super cool to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You'd land in some country, it's like a completely different culture. You're like, what the hell's going on? Where am I? I think it's cool.
That's the main thing I'm excited about, because I've only ever traveled to Puerto Rico and then a few places in the military, so I like leisure. Puerto Rico is probably my favorite just because it's where my family's from, and like El Dorado is where, if you guys want to see some like really, really, really wealthy people, El Dorado is where they all hide when they don't want to be bothered. And I think that's one of the coolest things I'm excited about when we are at that point within the next 6 to 12 months to be able to travel everywhere. Is like the impact we'll be able to make once we have this money. Like somebody we all know, Jeremy, building the houses in El Salvador for the people that don't have money or homes. I think it's cool to see how much of an advantage we have to be where we are now to the places we haven't even been yet.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and to go back to Alex's question of a favorite travel story, so back in April, I went to the Canary Islands right off the coast of Africa, owned by Spain, so I guess they count it as Spain, but they all drive stick shift over there. And I went with me, my
Do you know how to drive stick?
I don't.
Oh no!
So this is where it gets crazy. So me,
You learned quick.
Josh, and one of our clients, Ben, all went there. I don't know stick shift, so I wasn't going to bother trying. Josh, he kind of knew. But if you know anything about stick shift, if you like are up a hill, it's like a
It'll
lot
roll
harder.
back.
Yeah.
Roll back,
The new sticks have anti-rollback though.
Oh.
It's a cheat code, dude. Mine doesn't. I'll roll back, but yeah, it's
So
luck.
this guy Josh doesn't know how to drive stick shift that well, but it's just enough to get by. And we go up this hill in the crazy traffic, and he's like, shit. And he just starts freaking out and panicking. We're at the top of the hill, it's a stop sign. So he has to stop there, and he doesn't know how to start it up. And
oh gosh.
the car stalls out, and there's like 50 cars behind us
Oh,
all waiting.
Did he crash into anyone?
No, he didn't
Okay,
crash.
that's good.
And like a police officer came up to us, had to get in the car, figure it out, move the car,
No
just
way.
for people to pass by.
That's hilarious.
It was like 10, 20 minutes of
so
embarrassment.
embarrassing.
It was really funny.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know how to drive stick, go learn. It's an essential skill.
Yeah.
Trevor, when you come out to California, or maybe when we move here to Florida, then I'll teach you. Yeah, but that's an essential skill for sure.
California's a fun one too, man. When I went to Temecula, like wine country,
Yeah.
it's fucking nice.
It's nice.
I just sat there staring at the mountains getting drunk.
It's so dry though. It's just so dry, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I think my favorite travel story was I mean, it wasn't anything like crazy or raunchy like you guys, but just going to Mexico. It was a long time ago, so I was 14, but we went with some family friends, and we just got like this big villa, and it was 3 or 4 stories, but it was like up a mountain, so it was terraced. So you had like the lower story, and then the next one, and then the next one, and there was a pool, and it overflowed. It was an infinity edge pool into down below, and there was 2 pools on 2 stories, and you just like look out, and it's just all like palm trees and jungle and like giant boats are in like a bay thing.
Right.
It was so cool, and I was just like, oh man, this is
the life.
and it's like when you get there and you're like, that's something that I want to bring for my future family and be able to achieve something like that too. And so that was super cool. So I think that was like a big moment for me for sure when I was younger.
That's what's up, man. I also went to Dubai, another family trip, and Dubai, the culture, again, like the culture was amazing. But one thing I will say, I used to live in New York for a while, and I visit from time to time because I'm an hour away. Dubai is so clean, so clean. The culture.
They don't have taxes, right?
No, they don't. Unlike business, on business stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so very clean, really respected community. Like people are just generally nicer, and that's something I'm realizing more and more. I love the U.S., but man, we have some people, like especially in New York, how rude people can get and how dirty the streets can be. But Dubai was like complete opposite, and like the reason why is because they know they're not going to be able to rely on oil forever. So they're really trying to build up the place to be a tourist destination. They're trying to do amazing things. So by nature, they're keeping the place clean. They're really making sure that the culture there is like respect others, which I feel like that should be universal in the world.
Yeah.
But it was just really nice just to go somewhere literally like 16 hours away. And I don't like flying, but it was actually a decent flight and everything. And it was really nice just being, again, in a nice culture as well.
But you felt it, right? Like it was super safe. Like they have like one of the lowest crime rates like in the world.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think like their laws, like they don't play around. You know,
If you
like
steal, you get your hand cut off.
yeah, they'll
Do you
kill
think that's because of the, highly religious aspect of the culture? Do you think that plays a big part, or is it just because I know now there's like so many foreigners going there too and living there that are not,
That's-
of the Islamic culture.
That you
So
just
how
hit
does
it.
that-
You just hit it right on the head there. So when we were there, we had this one guy that drove us around, and they're really good with like they find a customer, they know that you're there for a week, they're gonna keep calling you like, hey, you need a ride. So this guy, and we asked him that, and he said literally what you said. I believe 80% of the Dubai population is from people not living in Dubai. So they understand that the environment from their countries it's horrible. So you get the opportunity to live here, where the government will take good care of you. They will feed you. There's not as much poverty. There's no homeless people on the street because the government does such a good job taking care of you.
Where do they get the money?
The government,
Yeah.
they're one of the richest per capita countries in the world because of
So
oil.
many families worth trillions.
Yeah.
So it's just an oligarchy then
Uh,
in the country?
pretty
Does that
much.
work? Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Because I'm like, where's the money coming from?
Oil,
Like, if there's
dude.
no taxes, there's no
Oil, brother.
right, oil. But I'm saying, so okay, cool. Does the government control the oil then?
Yes.
Okay, got it,
100%.
got it.
Yeah.
Question. I've heard like a lot of people say Dubai feels like artificial. Like,
Yes.
There's no like real, I don't know what you would call it, like life to it. And like that's why people like travel out of it. Like people in Dubai, they'll go like traveling to like experience something real.
100%. So it's a desert. But I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram, but like I posted a ton of videos of me at lakes, at beaches, but it's a desert. So all that is man-made.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the buildings and the architecture looks like nothing you've ever seen before. So people living in there, growing up in it, it's like it's run of the mill. But like you and I visiting, like I recommend we all go. I think we should all take a trip, by the way, to Dubai one time.
So
Well, one thing I will say though, it's really expensive. Like that's one of the reasons. That's another thing is like we went into the mall, dude. Like your standard designer mall, and the jeans were like 13,000 USD for like a pair of like jeans and stuff like that.
13 grand.
Yeah, it was insane. So like it's good to go as a group. We could split costs and like be able to enjoy it, or just make a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just make a shit
One
ton of
leg
money.
in,
Yeah.
one leg in one.
or that.
They have like superpowers.
Yeah.
13,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing I will say is like most countries I visit, I feel like above class, right? Because we live in the U.S. I went over there, I felt poor, dude. There was like 3-4 Lamborghinis parked outside of our hotel every night. There was Rolls Royces rolling down the street. So you gotta be making good money to live upper class there. So.
Huh. Do you think that's because they're attracting those types of people too?
Yes, business owners, really rich, really rich. You talk about networking, which John, I want to talk about your networking. You talk about really successful, like powerful leaders in the world.
Yeah.
Dubai is a place that they call like their backyard. Yeah.
Sweet. Does anyone else have a travel story? Are we going on?
Next prompt.
Next prompt. All right. Well, I want you guys to describe your first dollar you made online. I remember mine very vividly. I actually had one false approach where I thought I made money, but it was a scam. So I don't count that. There was this really big scam back in the day, and I think it's still relevant now. It's a WhatsApp scam, where it would be like a day trader saying, "Hey, if you give me $500, I'll turn it to $5." Like I
you
like 3, 4,
serious?
5
You
X.
actually?
This is when I was like, this is when
Oh,
WhatsApp just
no.
came out. I think I was like 12 years old. dude.
Oh no.
I was like 12 years old. I was like, but luckily my parents, like I needed my parents involved, so that's
Yeah.
why I didn't get scammed. So I'm like, mom, this trader, he says he'll be able to flip our money. I promise you, it looks real. Because you know how I found him?
Man.
So we always make fun of those like Bitcoin scammers on comments of videos.
Yeah.
That's how I found him.
Oh,
on
it's like
YouTube.
Maria FTX.
Dude, I swear to God,
changed
this is
my
my
life.
weakest.
Yeah.
This is my weakest moment in business ever, bro.
Well, you were also 12.
Yeah, but it was my weakest moment ever. It was like I was watching like a stock trading video, and like 4 or 5 people were like, "Yo, Marie, blah blah blah," on WhatsApp changed my life.
Yep.
So I'm like, I gotta figure this out. I downloaded WhatsApp and everything, and I'm like, and he sends like all these screenshots and everything. Like, Mom, just please give me $500, please. I promise you. We're like, hell no, right? So obviously that didn't count. And he sent me like I found a way to like, PayPal him some money. Like I borrowed a friend's PayPal. I sent him like $3, and he like sent me back like a screenshot, like, hey, this money's yours. Give me your bank information so I can deposit it for you. Oh my God. So I was like, oh, okay, now I'm getting a little skeptical. You know
about why so many people do that, like in the Instagram comments, because people fall for it. Like it works.
That's why I was wondering, like, how does this shit still work? So, and now like I look at that and I joke at it every time. But my first dollar actually made online was affiliate marketing. So from this trip here, you're gonna see a ton of different content, short form, long form, and I was just talking about it on our Walk podcast, affiliate marketing. So you basically could promote a physical or digital product online. If someone purchases through your link, you earn a commission. And mine was through affiliate marketing. It was one of the best things I ever did, but I don't want to hog all the screen time.
What was the product?
It was a course. It was a digital course teaching you how to start affiliate marketing.
Oh my God.
So like that was like the catch-22. That's why I pivoted out of that as soon as we started.
So you were hold on. You were affiliate marketing for a course that was teaching you how to affiliate market.
So
coaching.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. So here's the cool thing about it though. I didn't. So when I first started, one thing I will stand on is that before promoting it, I told myself, let me build my social media. How am I going to promote how to make money online when I haven't done it myself? So I'm like, let me start posting. My TikTok is still up there now. So I started posting, making like motivational, inspirational stuff. And when I started getting more social media following, this was back in December 2020, when on TikTok you can post anything and it just you go viral. Yeah. So after I started growing a ton of followers, I was like, all right, I can promote this now. So a few weeks later, I promoted a product and made like, I forgot the commission amount, like $2.78 or something like that.
How much was the course?
$7, and it was an upsell to a $2,500 coaching package. Okay. So it was 40% commission. So I made like a month later $1,000. But my first like sell, I was screaming. I was telling my mom, we're gonna be rich. Pack it up, Mom. We could retire. I'm gonna start making a shit ton of money online. But it was just my first opportunity. It was a lot of fun seeing that commission come through.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Christian, what about you?
Yeah, so my first dollar, so I got into like the agency space first, right? I bought like Iman's course. I fell into that rabbit hole, and I spent like 8 months like trying to figure out how to like build an SMMA, and I literally got no clients. And whatever, like I had one of my buddies now like hit me up that he was starting like coaching people and whatever. And so he had built like a network of people that were all trying to build an online business. Like it was from different industries. And I say this because like one of the guys in our network, it was literally like a Discord, and one of the guys in it was a realtor, and that was my niche. Like I was helping realtors, and I literally got lucky. Like that's how it happened. Like we were on a call, and I was like, "Yo, you're a realtor?" Like I do marketing, so, and yeah, and then I got him on a call, and he ended up paying me $2,000 to run his ads for a year, which is like. Obviously,
and this was 100% online. You never met the guy.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first dollar. So I spent like.
When was this?
Probably like 2 years ago.
So you're not still working with that guy?
No, I'm not. No, yeah, but like I'm glad he gave me a chance, you know. And I'm like, I mean, it was cheap, but like that's what, dude. I saw that 2K in my Stripe. I'm like, yeah, it's game over.
Yeah.
I started like crying and stuff. I'm like, bro, we're doing it. Like, that's it. I'm rich, you know.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
I come from like a similar space with like the real estate and each one. So I remember it was during COVID, and I saw everybody make money with dropshipping. I was like, holy shit, like there's 18-year-olds driving Tesla Model Plaids, Corvettes, Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot. What am I doing? And I was like, literally a week later, I dropped out of school when I was getting ready to go to med school. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this shit. And this is before I told you guys earlier I met the guy with the watch. I started going on LinkedIn, and I was like, all right, if I can find people who are in business, I can get them to pay me something. But I have no idea what the fuck it's gonna be. So I started DMing hundreds of people. I remember.
He's a cold DM or
cold DM.
He's a cold DM.
Cold DM. I remember I found this software called Octopus CRM, and you could set it up so every few hours it would message like 100 to 500 different people on there. Bro, I was making $800 a month at the time. I was spending like $400 a month on this CRM trying to get clients, And after spending like $800, I finally got one,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a real estate dude. He was a real estate broker in, I think it was Colorado. What is it, Aspen? Yeah, Aspen, Colorado. And worst sales pitch of my life. I have no idea how the hell I got him to do anything. But bro, these are the highest quality leads you'll ever find, or your money back.
I guarantee you, man.
And he gave me $2,500. Long story short, I spent like $500 and bought a list of leads on Fiverr. And he messaged me like a month later. He's like, you know, man, I'll be honest, you're a hustler and I like it, but I'm hurt and disappointed. He didn't make any money from the leads. It felt like shit. And I gave him $500 back. I got to keep 15. But after that, dude, it was over. I got into drop shipping, started making money there. Got a sales job, started making a shit ton of money there. And now here.
Damn, man.
What was the story with the watch guy?
So when I was in the Navy, I thought being a doctor was everything, bro. Like $15K a month, like I'm gonna be rich. I'm about Lambo, everything.
Yeah.
My whole family, like you know how it is being Hispanic, like fucking school. At least most
Oh,
of the time.
for sure. Yeah, drop
And
out too.
I was like, all right, I'll be a doctor because I was a medic in the military. And this is when I was starting to see all the drop shipping stuff. And I saw this dude walk in, like the widest veneers you ever see. I remember he had a bald ass head, big dude, just walking around like smiley, and he like plants his arm on the counter, like it's a nice fucking watch. I was like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's a presidential. Like Google it, don't know what it is. It's a $100,000 Rolex presidential. Turns out the dude has a barber shop, he flips houses, he wholesales, he does a club promotion with like one of the biggest producers in Atlanta. There's a new Corvette outside. After that, I just started diving in. I was like, if this dude's in the military, and I'm making $800 a month, but he's wearing $100K on his wrist, like, fuck being a doctor. I want to do what he does.
Yeah.
That's
Did you
what's
talk
up.
to him? Did he like teach you?
No,
Your
bro,
first?
no. I went to, remember, at the end I was like, bro, like, I'll do whatever you want for free. Like, I'm in the Navy too. Like, you know how it is. Like, I'll do whatever it takes if you mentor me. He's like, nah, man, I got it on my own. Read a book.
Would have been a
Feels like
crazy,
that, bro.
lucky story. You got like your first mentor like that.
I mean, I got my first mentor. I don't want to take up all the camera time. My first mentor. So when I got out, I didn't plan well. I made some money drop shipping, but got scammed out of all of it. That's another story for another time. Don't want to call that guy out. Got scammed out of roughly around 100K.
Wow.
And when I got out, I was homeless for about a year because of it. I was negative in bank accounts, on my credit cards, sleeping in my car, literally eating like the pizza that was free at Planet Fitness to like fucking survive. And I remember like praying. I was like, bro, like show me a sign. Like this shit is meant for me.
You call God, bro.
Bro, I swear, I was like, dude, bro, like, show me something, like, please. I feel like an idiot because my whole family was like shitting on me for quitting school, getting out of the military. They thought I was set for life.
Yeah.
And a green Lamborghini pulls up. I was like, you do listen. And this dude who's all tatted, wearing a backwards hat, steps out, like scary as shit. He's walking up to the gym. I sprint up to him. I'm like, bro, let me work for you. I was like, not again. He's like, let me work for you. He's like, who the fuck are you? I was like, my name's John. Like, I just saw you pull up in the car, man. Like, I'm hungry. Like, I'll do whatever you want. He's like, let me ask you something. You believe in God? I was like, yeah. How do you think this happened? Does he give you what you ask for? I was like, no, all the time. He's like, what the fuck would I? I don't know you. And he ran to his car, gave me a book, which is the book that I'm gonna give you guys. Had me read it. Ran into the dude almost 6 months later because my girlfriend found him on Instagram. Started following him. Ended up DMing him, like harassing him. He had me drive down an hour to Sarasota for a job interview. Hired me. I paid him a couple grand to mentor me, and bro, within 30 days, I was making $50,000 a month as a sales rep.
How much?
50 grand.
A month.
Wow.
Bro.
Shit.
What?
That's
I'm surprised he didn't block you on
ridiculous,
Instagram.
bro.
Imagine if he decided to block
Bro,
you.
I was
It would've been
hungry. Like,
totally
I
different.
fucking hit him up every day. I hit up him. I hit up his wife. I hit up his friends.
That's how it is.
He
Yeah.
couldn't escape.
Bro, this first time I saw somebody like with money that I could touch, and I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm failing this."
Yeah.
Wait, what was the book?
Closer by Ron Early. If anybody's watching this, he's not a big name in the sales space. I promise you, he's the best person you've never heard of. The Closer framework isn't created by Alex Hormozy. It was popularized by him. It was created by Ron Early, who's a sales psychology trainer. That's why I don't call myself a sales guy. I'm into sales psychology because that shit's magic.
Nice.
Damn. Fire.
Well, my story is pretty funny. So I had a pretty similar story to Alex when it comes to affiliate marketing, but actually way before that, I'm talking like I'm 12, 13 years old. I was a little bit entrepreneurial. And do you guys know the game Madden? I would imagine.
Of course, dude.
Well, I used to play Madden on the mobile version, and
So good.
they have like a market, like a store. And what I would do is I would buy low, sell
Bro.
high. And what I would do is
There's
I
day trading video games.
So smart.
He's flip selling, dude.
well, I would rack up all these coins from buying low, selling high, and I would grind that every day. So I'd come home, work, play it for like 4 hours a day.
Remember that guy? You pissed me off. I could never get it.
Yeah, we would try and snipe them, and then I would accumulate all these coins, and then I would either go on Instagram and say, I'll give you these coins if you give me a gift card, or I'd go to people in school and like, hey, buy my lunch, hey, buy me this, hey, buy me that, and I'll give you coins.
That's sick.
Like I'd go to rich people, and I was making like $200 a month. It's not bad
That's
for being
a
that
solid
young.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, ended up doing affiliate marketing very similar to Alex around 3 years ago. Same business, same offer that he was doing. Relatively the same time too.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Like
think it started like a
December.
month before me, but yeah. Because I would have started a lot sooner, but the affiliate company I was working with, dude, that we're working with,
Yeah.
they took like, because it was the holidays, they took a while to get me my affiliate link that I needed to promote it. I would have started like a month sooner, but yeah, dude.
Did you guys know each other at that point?
No,
No.
That's
No.
so weird.
no. And I'll be honest with you guys, little transparency here. So I didn't start to get familiar with Trevor until this one guy reached out to us. He was a little younger than us. I think it was like 16 when we were like 20, 21
Who,
ish.
Daryl?
No, another guy. The one that started the Discord. I can't remember his name.
Cal?
I think so. I think that was his name.
Another 16-year-old.
the
like
EU
21
guy?
No, he wasn't. He was black. 16. He was the one who started the entire group, dude. He was reaching out to me every day, like, Alex, join. Carter, bro. I freaking miss that guy. I gotta figure out what he's doing now. But he used to reach out, join. And this is when I thought I had an ego, bro. It's like, bro, this guy's 10,000 followers. I have 150,000. Why is he reaching out to me to join this stupid little Discord? I'm not gonna join this shit. So I didn't. And it was until like a month later that I started to see Trevor and some other people pop up. And I'm like, oh, I see that they're part of this Discord. So I finally joined. And I started to learn about Trevor. And I'll be honest with you, I was very pissed because this guy, it wasn't that he wasn't trying, but his effort level wasn't to the same standard as what I thought it should have been for the amount of money he was making. And he was farther along the journey and process. And when I say this guy would get on his phone, his lower quality phone than me, his dorm room in college, and like literally
Ugliest backdrop of all time.
this guy, yeah, like, and just start recording content and start printing money. I was like, there's no way this guy is making more money than me, because despite having a massive following on TikTok, I was only making like a couple $1,000s a month with affiliate marketing, which, by the way, was enough to quit my job. It wasn't until I got into Instagram later that summer that I really started to take off. Another story for another day. But I was envious of this guy because I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing way better than me, and he's not trying as hard. And this is one of the lessons you'll learn in business. Sometimes trying too hard is actually what makes you not succeed as fast. But we became business partners because that affiliate company eventually was like, no more under 18-year-old affiliates. They were dealing with the compliance issues because the way of marketing was like showing income screenshots. So they were like, let's get rid of all the 18-year-olds. So a lot of people quit in that Discord. There was about 20 males, females, a few females, mostly males. We'd get on Discord calls late at night just talking about
Every
business
day.
and life. And eventually they all started to wash away. School started. A lot of them couldn't be affiliates anymore, quit. Some of them pivoted to different business models. Only person that stayed like on top of things was Trevor, myself, and another buddy of ours now that we're reconnecting with and helping him grow. But he was like the only one I'm like, all right, I got to connect with this guy because he's doing well. But more importantly, he didn't just quit. Like, he's still pursuing. We started to become friends and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we became partners like 3 years ago. 2 years ago.
That's cool.
What about you? First dollar online?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on our walking podcast this morning. But basically, I have like a background in social media marketing for local businesses. And so I started with that. And so that was, I kind of met them in person, but I was still making the money kind of online. But fully online, I started doing, kind of the strategy that we're using now, where we're building a personal following and basically, teaching others how to run ads, because that was my background, was content and ads, and I've been doing that for years. And so then, that was it. I mean, I remember the date, it was April 6th, and I don't remember the year, but the date was April 6th, and it was the first money online. It was $2,500. It was a 5x5 payment plan. So 5 payments of $500, And I remember seeing the $500 hit my brand new Stripe account, you know, and I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. And so then, dude, but like as soon as that, it was like, that was 100% online. And I just, like, I remember that feeling. That's one of the best feelings that you can ever have, because you're like, I can do anything, anywhere, and make money. Mm-hmm. It's just,
now we're like
it's so wild.
Now the Stripe numbers, there's just a number, man.
Yeah, but there's like nothing tying you down.
Yeah.
It's like you can do what you love to do anywhere now, and it's like that's probably the best feeling that I've ever had, and you will ever have.
Represents like freedom.
You know, I make AK in a
For
day
sure.
and I get pissed.
I know, dude. your expectations just keep growing.
You're like, why didn't I make 12?
Absolutely, man. I love it, man. So, guys, I want to get into some topics that are a little spicy here. So, I started to realize this a while ago, but like we could talk business all day long. But I think what really gets people interested is like some mindset stuff, right? So, what do you guys think is like the biggest mindset shift that's kind of helped you guys grow as men and as entrepreneurs?
Stop watching everybody around you.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've come from a life of just being insecure the whole time, so I was always watching what other people are doing and comparing it to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I still do it sometimes today just because we're not where we want to be. But I think too many people, including myself, watch what everybody else is doing or wondering if everybody else is watching what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just focus on what you're doing, and if you can, like, what's the saying? If you don't know what to do what you can. Like, at all moments, just do what you fucking can. Don't worry about if somebody's watching you, if they're doing better than you, if their business is better than yours, if the web page is better than yours, if the ad is better than yours. I know people with ads way worse than ours making more money than us. It's just do what the fuck you can.
They just spend more, right? They just spend more.
I love that, man. There's a lot, bro. To grow as a man, I think like leadership is so important. It's especially in business, like it's so easy to just copy the next person. There will come a time though where you got to stand for something, right? Stand for something or you fall for everything. And I think for me, growing as a leader, it has been really important because not only just it reflects on how I am in our business, but just how I am with my loved ones, right? My girlfriend, my family. It's one of the things I'm trying to work on. But like when you're just getting started in business, it's a massive learning curve, right? So you're scared to take a certain risk and try something that doesn't work out. But I'm starting to realize the most successful people, they take the information that they can, but they ultimately just go blaze a trail, dude. Like go out there, fail trying, right? Take imperfect action and just like don't worry so much about what other people are doing, to your point as well. And it really, for me personally, I think all men should be leaders at some point in their lives, whether it's in your family, whether it's in business. You should be a leader of something. That's what you're put on this earth to do, in my opinion, is to lead and create impact and help people make good decisions. So like that's kind of one of the things I'm starting to really realize, and I'm reflecting on my journey when I first started to now. It's like that has kind of really helped me the most, is not be so afraid and look for somebody else to help me make every single decision. To give you a specific analogy, Trevor and I probably have invested over $100,000 worth of mentors, coaches, courses, all that stuff. Why? Because we were always thinking, I'm starting to realize it now, but I think that kind of looking at ourselves, we're kind of not insecure, but not clear on who we are as people and not confident. One of the things that I was, when I got started, one of the things I thought was going to be a problem was like, yeah, we're young. Who's going to want to pay us $5,000 to help them with something when we're young? And it's like, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter like what you look like. It just really matters how good of a leader you are. How well can you captivate a room? This guy John here knows how to do that really well, and that will get you so far and get you in places where you probably shouldn't be if you do it right. So yeah, man, just being a leader.
For me, I don't know if I
You
can
might want to
tie
scoot
it.
up a little, Trevor. I don't know if you're pushing the edge there.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if I can tie it to like one specific thing, but
There's a lot.
yeah, but all I know is like growing a business is probably the biggest self-improvement thing that you can ever do or ever even try. Like it's probably stronger than even going to the gym or something like that. But just the trials and tribulations, the massive highs, the massive lows, the just everything, all the shit that happens, it just makes your mind so mentally sharp that like eventually you get to a point that just nothing phases you. And you just like are flatlined. And I think that's good because then you can actually think properly and make decisions that are required and not that are super emotional.
Stoicism.
Decisions
Yeah.
out of logic and that out of
Huge.
emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think like one of the biggest things for me that helped me was learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Like I think that just
Okay.
encompasses so much because business is uncomfortable, like
Shit.
very uncomfortable, right? And like I look at it like the mindset of a citizen versus a business owner is completely different because a regular citizen they're comfortable, right? They get their paycheck every month, and it's like when you take the risk of starting a business, you're taking the risk for the potential upside. And so I mean, it's like at every stage, right? Investing into like mentors. Like I've spent like 50 grand on courses, coaching, mentorships, and it's like at some points where I spent like 10 grand to get into a program, like somebody would have called me crazy, right? But I was comfortable to become uncomfortable to get to the next level. And I think that's just something that you keep with you like at any point throughout the journey. People at $1 million a month, right? They're comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
That goes into everything in life too, not
Yeah.
just business.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing I'm thankful for the military for because it's.
Mm.
Yeah.
I did some things that I don't think I'll ever forget, and it sucked really bad. But like, when I was homeless, it didn't suck as bad as I thought it would because of that. And like, there's months where, in whether it was one business or the other, there was no money, or I was late on rent or late on a car payment. And as weird as it sounds, it didn't bother me. And I don't know if it didn't bother me, but I don't think it bothered me as much as it would if we were people who hadn't gone through things that actually sucked. Because life can get a lot worse.
Yeah. Yeah. And to hit a little bit harder on that, I think putting yourself in a position to become uncomfortable is so key. Like
Because then you're not pushing if you're not.
I'm like huge on that. Like I dropped out of college. I mean, you dropped out like the day after like you learned about dropshipping or something,
Bro,
which was
like,
crazy to me.
can't.
But like yeah, I dropped out. I was going to the University of Florida. Tuition paid off, like everything like that. So
Yeah.
that's why I meant like when I made my first dollar, like it was emotional because like I had all my family, like everybody just telling me, "What the hell are you doing?"
You had it
right?
all planned out.
Yeah, and so I think I put my back against the wall. I forced myself to make it happen, right? Like I spent 8 months grinding, nothing to show for it. Most people would have quit, but I also think it's because they didn't have their back against the wall. You know what I mean? And I think like at every level, like now I want to go ball out and get like a 5K a month apartment, put myself uncomfortable, and then you either step up to the plate or you go broke and you go home. You know, and I think that's
It's a rite of passage, man. Like you have to go through hard times, and we have a question talking about that in a moment. But I want to hear your thoughts on that, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, I would just echo everything you guys are saying. Just, I think, self-work. I think it's just working on yourself, and then also understanding your own psychology. I mean, obviously, I've learned tons from John over psychology over the course of our partnership, and I think it's just working on yourself, just like you guys said, putting your back against the wall. You know, learning about your own psychology, making the hard decisions, pushing to do the uncomfortable things, learning about how you actually think, and also how you deal with things too. So it's like, okay, cool. When this certain thing happens, that makes me angry. Why does this make me angry? How do I control that? How do I avoid being angry or put that energy into a different emotion or a different use? So I think just, in short, period, working on yourself in all of the aspects that you guys just talked about, because people tend to just ignore that, or they'll focus on one of those aspects. They won't focus on learning about themselves and their own psychology, and they'll just focus about making business. But then you deal with the highs and the lows of business and you freak out, and you're like, why am I freaking out? It's because you're not paying attention to your psychology and how you react to certain things, and then emotionally you're just like destroyed.
I read this in one of my favorite psychology books. It's like the psychology of a man. A man who can master self-awareness in oneself can master awareness in all things. And this is something like we tell all our students, and I just want to hammer it harder on what Tyler said. If you can master being self-aware, there's literally nothing you can't do, because then you know why you're doing the things you're doing and the outcomes coming from it, and you can always reverse engineer every failure or success.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Speaking of which, yeah, mic drop for sure. What is your guys' general opinion on men in this generation? And so why I'm asking these types of questions, if you guys are wondering, like at the end of the day, like you can do social media marketing, you can do real estate investing, you can do whatever you want in this world. Like I think all that though, to be successful, there has to be a certain level of stoicism, right? Is that how you say the word?
Stoicism.
Stoicism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to be successful, you have to have that. But I feel like in this generation now, it's like we're on two ends of the spectrum. You have someone as young as 16, 18, 20 years old building a 6-7 figure business. But then you also have another pool of people, men specifically in this generation, that are the complete opposite. So overall, and just in general terms, we obviously know that there are so many different types of men in this world, but what would you guys say is a general opinion of men of this generation?
When you say, real quick, when you say opposite, do you mean like a 30-year-old freeloader compared to a 16-year-old hustler? Opposite ends, or what do you mean?
So great question. So like in the sense of just laziness, like you have someone so willing to drop out of college, which was what we thought the American dream for so long, to pursue something he's passionate about and can also make him a ton of more money. And then you have someone that is, like you mentioned, right, freeloader at 30 years old, but really just from a sense of laziness.
Okay.
Can I
cliche.
hammer on that from like the pussy side of it?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Be as raw as possible, bro. This is a podcast.
The reason I say this is
Do it,
like
bro.
most of my life I was a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Like I was the softest
Mhm.
guy you'll ever meet. I was overweight. I would let people talk shit to me in my face.
Mhm.
I wouldn't do anything. I had to just watch my family struggle enough and watch the people I love be in enough pain to realize I have to change. And I think that's the issue with most men today.
Mhm.
Like, and if it's somebody watching this, if you're not watching this, anybody here, if you are soft and if you're easily offended and you're not trying for anything, look at the people you care about.
Mhm.
And there's somebody out there. Because for me, I was literally the softest, stupidest piece of shit you ever meet. Until I saw my mom crying every day because her hands hurt.
Mhm.
Seeing my dad talk about suicide because he was tired of working and not having anything. My brother has autism. He doesn't have the opportunities everybody else has. I think the reason men are so soft today and what can really help them is that they don't struggle or go through enough pain or actually look at the people around them that they care about going through that pain. Because if it wasn't for my parents going through the pain they are right now, my brother probably wouldn't be an entrepreneur. Like I was lazy and complacent. But I had to watch my parents be late on bills and the lights turn off enough to finally realize I'm the only one competent enough to take the chance. I think men just don't go through enough pain.
I think though part of it too is you also need to find like the right vehicle, because like school for me, I didn't try at all. Like I still did decent, but I was
High
lazy.
school or
Well, high school and college.
Okay.
But then on the sports side, I would go crazy and I would try my absolute heart out. So it's like when I was in college, man, that shit sucked. Like I wasn't trying, or it was lame. And then you get into business and it's something you enjoy so much, and it's probably different for each person. But once I found that one thing that I really love doing, gave it 100% of my effort.
Do you think enthusiasm would play huge into like that vehicle? Because that's something I feel like I notice with a lot of people. Like they can do anything, but unless they have enthusiasm behind it, they're never going to do it to a complete like effort.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I was the same way. I didn't try in school, but I'll fuck anybody up in sales.
Yeah.
I think it's cliche when you hear no one's coming to save you, right? I think that's huge for men to understand. Like I remember hearing that when I was like starting my business. Like I was not successful at all. I was soft. I wasn't in the gym, and it like scared me. Like I feel like that scares people that aren't successful, quote unquote. But nobody is coming to save you. You know, like a lot of people live like in this bubble, and they like mask it with like smoking and drinking, like all these vices. You know what I mean? Like that's how most men are. Like they're it's just like, yeah, they're using vices to cover up their shitty life. And so when they actually understand nobody's coming to save you, and now from where I'm at now, I actually see that as like reassuring, because like I have direct control on how my life can look. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I have full control. And I think that's a perspective that you should come into life with. And I forgot who mentioned it when we were talking about like it's more than business, right? Like just talking about self-work. I talk about this on my channel. It's like not like to become the type of person you want to be, it's not just money, right? Like I look at it as like fitness, money, relationships, having fun, and then having God in your life. And I think if you like fill out all those pillars, like you will live a good life. You'll be like a well-rounded man, and like that's the goal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can I ask you a question real quick, guys?
Yeah.
Because you're the youngest here.
Yeah.
How at so
Not
young
much.
have you gained? Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, 20's young as shit. How at so young do you have such wisdom?
Education. I dropped out, but education's extremely important.
The good education.
The good education, mentors and that type of
Like
stuff.
if there's somebody who's 18 to 20 right now because they don't have your wisdom. I was a complete dumbass at 20. I wouldn't speak the way you are. So like, how do you have such wisdom at such a young age?
I believe that you need to find people. Yeah, I think it comes down to like mentors, because like it's not just like an age thing. Like me, like 2 years ago, it was exactly like what you're saying. Like I was not where I'm like mentally where I'm at now, and so I think it's having mentors, people that you can look up to. That's been huge for me. Like, you know, Hermosi, like Ty Lopez too. Like he's got me into like reading, like just learning. I think overall, it's a really hard question. Like honestly, you know what I mean. What would you say your take is on it? Like how old are you?
25.
25.
I'm the oldest here, but
Or for you guys, what's
Well,
your guys' input?
I jump in with this. It's the content I consume. So to kind of on your point,
Yeah.
podcasts that I listen to, books that I
Yeah.
read. Thank you, Tyler, for that book. I'm definitely going to give it a read. It's the content that we consume, and I think that's a big reason why so many people struggle today. It's because of the content that they consume, where it's so much easier to push and it's so much more entertaining. And I figured this out the hard way. Being a content creator, no one really cares about the high-end detail, the high-end value, the high-end information that you give them. They'd much rather see a cat video of someone falling down. Or they'd much rather see the guy with the Lamborghini saying, hey, you can make money online doing this just like I am. So I think I kind of been able to cut through the noise. And what helped me was actually in high school, senior year, as a joke, I took journalism. I was like, this is a free credit, free class. It actually ended up being one of the hardest classes I took from just a work standpoint. But one of the things that I appreciate from that teacher, I didn't learn much from her, but the one thing I learned from her is like being able to be due diligent in the value you consume. So I would personally say at 20, I also wasn't as sharp as you are now, but like for me over the years, it's just consuming better content.
I think one huge thing is like you can't exactly just like speed the process of becoming successful like overnight, like how a lot of people want. You learn from mistakes, right? But there's no rule that you can't learn from others' mistakes, and I think that was huge for me. That's what sped everything up for me. Exactly.
That's why you pay people.
Exactly. That's what it is.
It's so much more valuable.
50 grand.
Your time is way more valuable
That's exactly
than
what it
money.
is.
So why would I waste my time? I'd rather waste money.
Exactly, man. Most people don't understand that. They won't invest into themselves, and they'll be like me at like 19, and they'll get to like my point by like 25, and it's just because they prioritize time.
Right.
Isn't it crazy though that like if you invest into the right people, consume the right stuff, like you can quite literally flip your life over in like a year or two.
So much
And
faster.
set yourself up for the rest of your life.
A coach, like a mentor, you're learning from their mistakes.
Yeah,
That's exactly it.
I think people don't see the back end work though.
Yeah.
Like you said, your life can flip with, like one funnel or one book or one mindset shift change your life. Yeah. But it was all the years of the reading, the podcast, the listening, all the other stuff that you invested into yourself, whether that was free resources or paid stuff, that took all this time, and then that one thing was just the thing that set you over the edge.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of people, they think it's this one thing, but it's a cumulative journey, and then it's the tipping point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my partner right
Yes, sir. Trev, can you actually spend some time talking about one of the things that we're starting to realize amongst each other is the importance of patience and delayed gratification?
Yeah, well,
And a high level view. Instead of worry.
I would just say that like for my entire life of business, I was always like, I gotta hit this income level by this age. Let's just throw out an example. I gotta hit 50K a month in the next 2 months.
Says who?
I know.
Why does it matter?
I'm getting there.
No, I know.
But I used to have all these like time deadlines. I gotta be a millionaire. I gotta do this by this age. And like when you're always doing that, you put so much negative energy on yourself if you don't hit it, or if there's like one roadblock in the road, which there are thousands. You have to go through the trials and tribulations. So I've just been letting go as of lately. You just do this stuff that you have to do every day, and the man upstairs takes care of it.
They don't want to pay me? Okay, I'll see you in a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. One thing on that.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Because with me being the oldest one here, that is exactly why it took me so long to see success. Any type. I expected to be a millionaire at 22. I expected to make $100 grand a month the next month. Like every time. Even when I was in sales, I destroyed my relationships there because I wanted to be at 200K a month, 300K a month, doing everything, owning the company, having equity. I tried to rush success so much that I left success and ruined everything.
Yeah. And I want to actually speak on that. So I have the same type of eagerness and hunger to do a lot of things, and I think it's because I have this. I always had this issue of like, I need to do this before this happens mentality, and it's just so wrong. For example, I have this real hunger, desire to make a ton of money and be really successful because of my parents. And I was talking about this with John. We were having heart to heart on the sofa yesterday, and I was telling him like, dude, my parents have worked so hard. We have a question on family in a moment, but my parents work so hard. They've sacrificed and given up a lot to make sure all their children, because I'm one of 5, are successful, happy, and comfortable. And I'd be damned if I let them waste their years of hard work, sacrifice. My mom, on the way she was driving me to the airport, she was telling me how like when she first moved here, she was taking care of this lady, and she had to clean her poop, the dog's poop, and like all the hard work that she had to go to work her way up the corporate ladder. I'd be damned if I let my life kind of just sit back and I'm working a mediocre job. So for me, is I want to be so successful so my parents can say, hey, all our time and effort that we put together, it didn't go in vain, right? Like my son is successful, and I want them to see me as successful as possible while they're still on this earth, happy, in the right mind, walking. And one thing I got to tell myself, and I know if they're watching this, they're going to say, son, we're already proud of you. One thing I got to tell myself is like my definition, and oftentimes our definition and our expectations of certain things aren't quite what they need to be, right? Like this idea of we have to make $100 million at a certain age. It's a goal to strive for sure, but if you don't make it, it doesn't mean you're a failure. And I know my parents, they're pretty proud of me for doing what I do now. But it's like for so long, I'm like, man, if I don't do this at a certain time, if my parents don't see me driving this nice yacht, flying this nice plane, taking them out, I let them down, right? And in reality, I know for a fact they're just happy to see me being with you guys, doing great things. And that's that mentality shift that I have to take now. I don't have to make a certain money at a certain age. I don't have to do certain things at a certain time. That expectation, like you just said, says who, right?
Yeah.
It's all made up here, right? So yeah, that's kind
Can
of.
I ask you guys a question about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because like I feel like I'm just coming over that, like how we set like arbitrary goals and stuff.
Right.
That's something I was dealing with like literally recently, where like I would work like 12, 14 hours a day when I was building my first business,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I would go to sleep and I would be like, I'm not satisfied, like I didn't
Yep.
do enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would actually like feel like shit. I don't know why, and I think it's just totally like my mindset.
Uh-huh.
What do you guys have like tips about that?
I want to touch on this because it's something personal experience. I think I told you about this, Tyler. That first month I made 50K. I hit it again the next month, and then the next month, and the next month. That was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. I remember calling my mentor, crying. I was having a mental breakdown. It's like I thought this would change everything.
Yep.
I thought I would be happy.
Yep.
I was the saddest I'd ever been. I think you just have to realize no matter what your goal is, we're all mentally sick in the sense that we want more. I don't think we're ever going to be satisfied until we see how much it's affected the people we care about. I going through that, I realized I'm not going to be satisfied until I see my parents on a porch swing not worrying. Because the more money we make, we're going to want more, we're going to have more bills, we're going to have more responsibilities, more places we want to travel, more things we want to buy. I think you need to connect it to the things that you can't buy.
Well, can I challenge you real quick? Because I know we're all agreeing, but I want to challenge that point a little bit, and I think you would agree with this. But to my point that I was just making, like, I think we can be satisfied once you highlighted the things that you really care about. And I don't think you need to make $100 million to be happy with your parents swinging on a swing set, right? Like I think that's the same idea that I had. I think you know, flying my parents out, we're traveling the world, because all that really for them is as long as I'm with them and they're with me and we're having a good time. You don't need a ton of money to do that. Now, of
They
course,
just want to feel appreciated.
exactly right. So I think like what a good exercise to do, and I'm not like trying to combat John, but I think a good exercise to do for some people is like write out what you really care about and say to yourself, do I really need to hit this goal to do this? Can I just take my parents out to get pizza down the street? Yeah, it's not a gourmet meal, but like I think we could still have a good laugh over and enjoy it, right? And I think that having that happy medium where you still want to create massive impact, you still want to make, because I want to make 8-9 figures before it's all said and done, not to just make the money, but I want to be. There's a real quick interjection, right? There's this story, there's this book called the movie we watched in high school called The Salem Witch Trials, and during that time, the only thing people cared about, the only thing that was of value to them was their name. or aka the reputation. So the moment they die, like anything that they do on this earth, it matters so much to them because when they leave the earth, they need to know that they left the earth with a good reputation. There's this guy named John. They call him a witch. He was like, my name in the movie. He's like, my name. That's all I care about. So I hold the same value where like, look, dude, why are we on this earth if after it we can't make the earth a little better than when we came? So I want to leave massive impact, build schools, churches, houses, do whatever. So to loop it all back, like I think during this journey, while we're striving for great things, write out the things you care about the most and say to yourself, do I really need to do this to accomplish this? Can I just do this right now? And I think it could change the way you look at things.
And to answer your which beautiful response, the reason I want that 100 million is because like I want to be a billionaire, but it's because I want, and it's funny you should bring that up. I was gonna bring up Salem Witch Trials. The name is what matters to me the most.
Yeah.
My dad could have been a very wealthy man. He gave up a lot when he found out my mom was pregnant. Things went downhill, and it's just been bad since for him. I want my name to be engraved. I told you, I want the Bruce Wayne dream. I want people to know our estate. I want people to know everything. But it's not just to have it. I want foundations that stop human trafficking. I want foundations that build schools. I want foundations that bring water to countries. I want my parents to wake up, and if they can do anything that's most expensive in the world, they can. I could care less about the money. I've made a decent amount of money in a short amount of time for my age, and it did nothing. But at this point, that 100 million, I want it to last the lifetimes. So when my grandkids look back, they can just say thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that you have like that why. But I think a lot of people, they set like these goals of I want to make 50K a month, I want to make 100K a month, and then you ask them why, and they can't tell you why. Or if they do, they'll be
Because
like,
they saw it on social media from a guru, so they want to do the same thing.
right. Or they'll be like, oh, I want to live the lifestyle. Oh, really? That lifestyle is probably 20K a month. You could easily live that lifestyle with that kind of money.
Yeah, Alex Ramon said it's 300K a year.
Yeah.
I love that. Nice. Hey boys, we're flowing, man.
Can I bring up a topic? I don't know if you have it there.
Yeah, go ahead, dude. This is your podcast.
I want to know
too.
everybody's, because this is something I have struggled with. Alex Hermosi and Layla were talking about it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
What is your struggles with self-doubt? How do you deal with it? How do you feel about it? Because me personally, I'll start since I brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
Doubt myself every day. I saw success in sales really fast, which fucked me up. I wish I didn't. Because now I doubt myself anytime I go into a call. Like, even though I can teach people a lot of stuff, I've taught people a lot of things, I've made people a lot of money, I doubt myself every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tyler hears me bitch about it all the time. He's like, bro, you're killing me. I'm like, I feel like I suck.
Well, I do the same thing to you. I mean, that's
Like,
why, you know, we're like a married couple. When you guys are in business together, you know that. It's how it works.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how everybody deals with it, because that's something I still struggle with every day. But when I've heard Iman talk about it, I've heard Jordan Welch talk about it, Justin Wall, I've heard all these very, like my mentor, I can't say names, but he's very, very wealthy man, billions of dollars. He's like, that shit's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You never do everything right. So how do you guys deal
I
with
think
it?
it goes away.
I was going to say, does it ever?
I don't
go
think
away?
it goes away.
I think something though that I heard Alex Hermosi said, and I never really, it went over my head until you just said that it actually hit the point home, was that it's the confidence in doing something over and over again and knowing that you can do that, right? That's like, cool, you made 50K a month. That's your new baseline. There's no reason you can't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the confidence in doing like, I've already done it. Why can I not do it again?
the
And
evidence.
the evidence, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like circumstances change, sure. But I've done this once before. There's no reason I can't do it again.
I'm going to challenge that, but I want the answer from you.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit that baseline, I feel like there's a new level of self-doubt when you don't maintain that baseline.
Mm. Yeah, that's something we've dealt with before. Here's the way I look at it, right? So you could look at it from a really detailed perspective. Where are our KPIs, right? Like, and this is KPIs don't just attain to business; it could be in life too.
Yeah.
Did anything change there? And we can like try to go back and forth and try to really like get detailed. Ultimately speaking, though, if you don't find anything in the data, it's one of those things where you realize like there's nothing linear in life. There's nothing linear in life.
Yeah.
Like you can try to make things consistent as possible, but just to Tyler's point, like it's repetition over and over and again. There's times where I go to the gym, bro. I hit 315. I'm like, dude, this shit's easy. And then I go a week later and I don't hit it. Why?
With what?
Squats.
Okay.
Squats. No, I'm not the biggest guy in the gym, but squats, dude. what ends up happening is like maybe I didn't get enough carbs, or maybe I didn't sleep well. Like there's so many variables that we go through in life. You're not bound to hit something over and over again unless you're looking at every piece of data, which you can definitely do in business. But outside of business and life, there's going to also always be variables. And this is why we tell our clients, look at things over an extended period of time, because oftentimes what you realize is you did better than you thought you did. Because if you look at things day by day, you'll drive yourself insane.
Yeah.
Look at yourself. We didn't hit 50K this month, but our total income made this year is greater than we did last year. We made progress, right? So that's the way I honestly look at it.
Do you think you can like look at every single variable though?
If you want to
Then
enjoy yourself
you'll
insane,
go crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
if you want to enjoy
That's
yourself
why you
insane,
have
there's
to
too many.
accept. You
Yeah.
have to accept the waves.
yeah.
So if you guys want
It's
to
just
talk,
part of it.
you guys want to talk KPIs for everybody watching, like, watch their shit.
Bro.
I'm learning stuff today that like it's gonna make
His
us
McDonald's
a lot
ad.
of money.
Yeah.
68%
Yeah.
or 68-cent cost. What was it? Your
The workflows
KPI that
and
you
shit
used?
so much.
Yeah.
Cost per profile
Cost
visit.
per profile visit, man.
You made an ad that said for less than a cup of coffee at McDonald's, 68 cents cost per profile visit.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's
an old
hilarious,
ad and
bro.
it's still
And it
running
just
and
works,
it's still
bro.
crushing.
Different types of caffeine.
It just
And he's
works.
like, he's like, why would I even use that KPI? It's so dumb now. And he's
Yeah.
like, but it works.
It works, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I think that's a really, really great question, man. Yeah, does anyone want to elaborate on that? Or we?
I just feel like it's something a lot of people struggle with that nobody talks about.
KPIs?
No.
Self-doubt.
I
suck at KPIs, man.
Iman said he was probably one of the first big entrepreneurs that made a video about it. He's like, I doubted myself every day, but
Yeah.
what I didn't doubt is that my mom still needed me.
Yeah.
He said it, and I was like, all right, fuck.
Dude,
That's a hard
I have
question.
this mentality is like, dude, if I'm gonna be a failure, it's not because I didn't try hard enough, bro. Like that's the way I look at it. I think one of my famous quotes that I used to say back in the day, in the affiliate marketing days, is like the only way to really fail is just giving up. So like we're up to this point now where we're pretty knee deep in our progress and growth. Like there's no way to really fail. And one of our first mentors, he hit rock bottom multiple times and built himself up every single time. I think when I learned how low to the ground he got before building himself up again, I'm like, okay, this guy has had it worse than I ever had it, and he's been able to do amazing things. So there's like, you can go as low as possible and get yourself back up. It's just steady progress over time, and you'll be fine in the end, you know? So, yeah, that actually leads into my next point about family. And I brought this question up for a few reasons. And I want to know your guys' view on family. The reason why I brought it up for two main things. One, I think today the look on family looks so different, and there's so many different discourses and conversations about what a ideal family looks like. The reason why I brought this up, I'm not here to like combat anybody, but for me, the value of having my mom, my dad in the household my entire life, never talked about divorce, never entertained divorce, my dad never cheated, my mom, there was no infidelity, good, healthy family, coming from zero. When I'm telling you, immigrants from Jamaica, they got everything stolen and robbed from them, their businesses in there, came to New York, built themselves from the ground up, and just seeing a steady, healthy family, my look on relationships, what I'm supposed to do, and ultimately my success to this day is solely on the fact that mainly on the fact that my parents were there to support me, be there for me, and they're my biggest supporters, right? So I know many people now aren't blessed to have that ability. I know, John, you had you've shared a decent amount of stories with us, and that used to be the norm. A mother and a father and a happy family, that was the norm, but now we're so diverted from that. Can you guys speak to what your views are on a family? Is there such thing as an ideal family, or does it not really matter?
I mean, since mine's the adverse one,
Mhm.
pretty much, I don't think my family would be compared as ideal at all. There's a lot of drug use in my family, a lot of alcoholism. I mean, even my dad didn't have a relationship until I was like 20, when he saw me in the military doing, hard charger shit.
Mhm.
But he's one of the strongest, hardest men, and I won't trust him in my life, and I love him to death. Now we have the greatest relationship. We play video games together almost every day.
Right.
That's sick.
Didn't have a stable household. My parents always fought about finances, like literally every month late on bills. But I think coming from a household where they hid it so well is what allowed me to have the mindset of being successful. Because when I found out that they were struggling the whole time, but they hid it well, it's okay. If they can go through all this shit, fight all the time, dealing with the depression, dealing with the pain, dealing with working 7 days a week, 2 hours a day, I have nothing to complain about. And I think that's why now when we go through hard stuff and have any type of success in business, I think that's what's been able to fuel me mostly, or at least have this mindset the way I go in. Because I'd say we kind of have the opposite, because my family, were already in New York. They weren't immigrants. And yours were good. Mine was kind of shitty. But I think both things that we can summarize from it and at least compare is that we wouldn't change it for the world because it helped us become who we are. And we know at the end of the day, they just helped us in the best way they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in the nuclear family. Mom, dad, 2 kids, dog. But unfortunately, in today's world, as so it seems, the narrative and the media are pushing the opposite of that, just with everything that's going on, and I think that's a little disruptive for future generations because I know that obviously both of my parents, they've been married for I think 25 years now. You don't just like go 25 years and not fight or battle or go through stuff, but the fact that they're still together teaches lessons to the kids that are life lessons that can be used to make a better society.
I think that's destroying society today too. Like the outlook they're putting on what a family should be and like independence and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm the same too. 100% on board. I mean, my dad, super hard working entrepreneur, all of my life. A few years before I was born, I think, when he started. And yeah, I mean, he's always done very well. My mom's never had to work, which was great, growing up and stuff. So that's been super valuable, and I think that's the exact same way that I would want to raise my family and stuff too. I think one thing though that we kind of talked about yesterday was like just the work ethic behind it. Like you can just take it too far, right? So kind of a point where you hit on earlier of I totally lost my train of thought. You can take it too far with like, I've learned a lot from my dad in all areas of my life. Growing up emotionally fast, being so wise so young, that's what it was. I grew up very fast, like emotionally very fast, because my dad, especially when I was younger and like first, learning things, growing up, etc. Like I remember him just like traveling a lot, and he would have multiple late nights where I would be in bed when he would get home when I was little, and so it was like growing up emotionally, I grew up super fast, and so I told you guys this yesterday. Like I love and appreciate him for everything that he did. And I just think it's like to that point of the nuclear family is super important. And I think both parents play a role in that. But I think you can go too hard on the workaholic aspect too. But I totally have that gene too. So I know that is something, that I learned from him. And then I learned just from watching him and from experience growing up that I'm like, I'm going to have to learn how to dial that back when the time comes.
I love that.
Because I'm just so obsessed with like, just like you said, dude, like you find something that works and you just become obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I think, none of us have kids, so we're not at that point yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay now.
And I think it'll change. It's okay now.
Yeah.
But like I said, one of the most important things that I learned is just you have to be not only the provider of the family, but you also have to be like an emotional rock and be there too.
Yeah.
And I think that plays a big part. So it's like, for example, if your dad isn't in the picture at all, but also your dad can work a lot too, right? And so I'm similar to John. Like honestly, I would say I have a much better relationship now with my dad than I did when I was younger, but it was for similar. Like he was working really hard and making good money, but he was working really hard, right?
We just have to both. I think we both had to mature to a point where we realized why they were so absent.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that he was absent at all. Like he was still there. I'm just saying, especially when I was younger, I think it's really important to be that way with a nuclear family, because it's once again there's supposed to be two.
Don't mean to like divert it off the course, but I wanted to see your point of view on something with what he said about being present. Because we're both in relationships, and you're a girlfriend.
Dude, I was literally gonna bring that. Go ahead, ask your question. I was gonna bring that up.
Because it's something I struggle with.
Dude, this guy's reading my
Struggle
brain.
with it. How do you
Salem
guys?
witch
Yeah,
trials.
I know. What the heck, dude?
How do you guys balance it? to a point where you know it's healthy, but also not letting go of the gas with work. Because there's days where
I just avoid it.
Answer the
now.
question. I was
just
gonna,
out of the picture.
I was gonna
all the
ask.
time.
I was literally gonna ask this. I was gonna
All
let
the
him
time.
finish first. Go ahead, Christian. I want to hear your
This
answer.
is good. And I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Do you want to
But,
touch
like,
nuclear family first, or are you good?
Um,
Or
you can touch
home
on
life?
the family.
Are
I
you
just
good?
it's something I feel like
family.
we relate
I
on.
want to talk about family. I mean, I grew up with divorced parents, but I am on completely the same page. Like by the time I'm 25, 30, I want to be with my wife in like countryside ranch, just like chilling, man.
Georgia, or is it too cold there?
No, I don't know. I mean, Georgia was lit, but no, I want to hit on this because when I was like while I was building my businesses, I was single. Like I was never in a relationship while I was in business. And I would see people like Layla Hermosi. Like this is what I want to talk about is like the type of woman you could be with. On one extreme, you have like a Layla to yourself, right? So like they are pushing you, like they are building the business with you.
Yeah.
And then on the complete other spectrum, you have like, like the stereotype, like stay-at-home mom.
Like a support.
Support. And it's kind of like, I was trying to see if I was supposed to go with like this extreme, like I can only be with this type of woman, or I can only be with like a caring woman. And I don't think there isn't an answer. I'd be super curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. But for me personally, like with my relationship now, the past year, like I was telling you guys, I grinded my face away. Like all I would prioritize was work, right?
Yeah.
And I would let like fitness down, relationships, having fun, God, like all of that like went lower in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the relationship I'm in now, my girlfriend's able to elevate all those other aspects. So she's on this side of the spectrum, right? Where it's like way more caring. And
answers.
I think that's what it is. And honestly, it's helped me in work. Because I just feel better. And she's kind of like that escape. You get what I mean?
Oh my God, he's taking my word. It's
It's that escape where you could turn off the switch
Yeah.
from work and relax with your woman. And I
Yeah.
think that's huge. I want to hear Alex.
I got
Go
nothing
ahead.
else to say, bro. You took
No,
all the
no,
words
tell
out
me,
of my mouth. No, look, I was gonna say that. I love the question, love your answer. So my girlfriend's on the opposite end of that, where she could be very supportive if she needs to be, because she's actually somewhat in our space, not to our level, but she does like social media management. But she is my escape. Like I literally, when I go out, there was a time where we actually got in an argument. She was like, "Why don't you tell me more about your business?" And I wasn't like intentionally trying to hide it from her, but I just like didn't want to talk about business when I was with her, because I just wanted to talk about something different, because that's all day long. I talk to this guy more than I talk to my own family, right? So like it got to the point though, but she's very supportive. I've actually, before I even had a business, she's been my girlfriend. She's been my girlfriend for 3 years now. So before I even had a business, she's been there. She's been supporting me. She's been I can talk to her about anything. So I'm very blessed and happy to have her. And like, it's so nice when we go out and do things. If I need to talk to her about business, I can. But in most cases, like, she's just there to really support me. And I think it's really, really hard to find women so when I graduated, when I actually met her, we were juniors in college. This is when COVID happened, and I actually got really close to her before COVID happened. And I have some buddies still that aren't in entrepreneurship, but they struggle now with dating. Because outside of, and I was talking to John about this, we don't, as our age group, we don't really have places we go to now. Like, bars or certain spots that we all hang out and speak to. So I have a bunch of buddies of mine that they aren't in relationships and are struggling to find relationships, because it's either swiping left on Tinder, which no one wants to do, parties. So how do you find the love of your life when you're at these events that don't really encompass
As
that?
an entrepreneur, right?
I'm with Trevor on this one.
Like, you have to go to like mastermind events and stuff like that to find women, because you're not going to find them at the club, maybe church. But so I feel bad for them. I feel so bad for them because they're struggling to find people that they care about. But it's like, it's hard. Dating is hard. So I've been blessed to find her before I became an entrepreneur, and now she's my ride or die. So.
And this is where you guys are gonna help me, because this is where the devil advocate comes again. First question: did you guys find your girls after you became entrepreneurs?
Before.
Yeah, for me.
Before? Okay, so you've been
Recent.
this a little bit for me.
Yeah,
After
recent.
you. My girl right now, amazing. Tyler knows a little bit. She's great. The fucking smoke show, super sweet. I'm the first guy she's ever dated or been with. So like literally like Andrew Tate's ideal client. Right? But I found her before I became an entrepreneur. I'm not a natural entrepreneur. I found the shit late, but I fell in love with it fast. I suck when it comes to the balance. And that's why I asked the question, and me and Tyler literally talk until fucking like 1 in the morning.
Maybe your time, it's like 10 my time. Yeah.
and I'll answer because I'm constantly obsessing over it. Like we've had conversations all day of systems that I can implement because I'm always trying to find where the hole is.
Yeah.
Because yes, we've talked about delayed gratification. I still do, but I'm also not satisfied with. I'm not sure if I'm putting enough effort.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm doing the right things. Not sure if
Yeah.
I'm missing something. Right? Why we get mentors. And I do see it affects the relationship because I spend time with her at the end of the night. But I don't think the time I spend with her is quality. Because I still think about business. I'm still trying to think of that sales call or why
So
didn't
you
you
can't get out of the
still
headset.
texting
woman, dude.
Instagram. Like when you guys say
Uh-huh.
she's your escape, she used to be my escape before I had something to escape from. And now that I have something to escape from, I can't escape. And then it affects her because she wants to get in, but the door's closed.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. So my girlfriend and I, we used to have like arguments about this too because I went from not being an entrepreneur to being fully immersed into entrepreneurship, and I did a bad job really communicating that with her, speaking to her. There would be throughout the day I would barely text her because I'm meeting to meeting and just talking and not really being there for her. But over time we just communicated. So the biggest thing is like getting like a heart to heart with her, one-on-one, just like let's lay everything on the table now, and like how do you feel about a relationship? What could I be doing differently? And you'll find that sometimes what you think that is required to resolve this issue, and you might be thinking, man, this is a lot for me to sacrifice. Sometimes it's not. And what I mean by that is I thought I would need to communicate with her throughout the entire day and text back and forth. When I talked to her, she was just like, look, I know you got your business stuff. Just let me know you're going to be busy for the next few hours and we'll call later. I'm like, oh, I could do that. I mean, that's not as stressful as I thought it would be. I thought she would need me to be on the phone. Like, when she would ask me about business, I'd be like, I'd kind of fan it off because it's like, I don't want to talk about it. She just wants to know, like, get an idea of what I'm doing. Nothing insane, right? So after just speaking and communication is the most important thing in any relationship. After just speaking with her and realizing what was needed and how I could be there for her, it allowed us to like communicate a lot better. And our relationship isn't perfect now, but it's definitely better than it once was when I started to get into business. But for what it sounds like you're having, and let me ask you this, dude. It sounds like you do obviously love and care for her, but on a pedestal, which one is more important to you, your girlfriend or your business?
And to tag on to this, the fun part is like I'm known for sales, right?
Mhm.
It's communication. Communication fucking sucks with the sales business and her.
Uh-huh.
I can't transfer it. On the pedestal, I'd say her.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, and hey honey, I don't think I could live with myself if I fail.
Are you gonna fail though while being in a relationship with your girlfriend? Do you think you're gonna fail?
I don't know. I think there's certain variables where it could. I don't think she'd be the reason. I live with some of her family members and stuff like that. I've told you guys, there's times where I'm on calls, which we all know how important it is to be locked in on a call.
Mm-hmm.
And they're screaming across the house. And the clients hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And, which I know it's not her fault. We have somebody else in the house who she can't control.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other variables where it's like, look, I'm not doing this for me. Like, I've been homeless. I can do this shit. But there's people at my house who fucking need me. They can't pay bills. Who I need to help.
Does she understand that? Does she know that dynamic?
She does, but I think there's a few things.
Mhm.
One, with me being her first partner, I think she's still learning herself. And I can't be mad at her for that. She's still finding herself emotionally as a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Two, her family is nowhere even near entrepreneurial. And that's not to jab at them, but they were raised in the generation of we get a job, we work hard, and her parents work hard as shit.
Yeah.
Her family's been through a lot. She's been through shit. Like a lot of bad things in her family. So I think it's a lot of variables. I wouldn't say the business is higher than her. I'd say the fear of it not working is.
I mean, I'm only 20. I'm like still figuring it out myself, but I have a pretty like extreme view when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
And you're in a really long-term relationship, right? 5 years, you said?
Yeah.
Which is huge. And I have a completely different viewpoint when you have like a wife, right? But when it comes to dating, the way I look at it is like, as a man in my relationships, I will always carry myself like I am willing to let her go at any point. And I think that's so crucial in a relationship that like she understands that I can leave at any point, because I've been in a relationship before where you're a simp, right? Like you're a simp and you're like just tied down to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that dynamic, in my opinion, doesn't work versus when the woman is she understands that you're a high value man and that you could leave at any point. And so she has to not act, but treat you in the relationship dynamic in a way where you are heading towards a certain vision, right? And this is what I'm getting at with like my business, is that my girlfriend now and any girlfriends I have in the future, they know that I'm going down a certain path in life. And if they're gonna join me, if they're gonna be in a relationship with me, it's to uplift me and provide value to my ultimate mission. So it's like where I'm going in life, that is at the forefront. No matter what, forever, that's the case. And if a woman wants to join me and provide value and care for me and be loving, then she could decide to do that. But the second that like you are locked in or you feel like you're trapped into a relationship with her and like you start simping and everything like that, that's when she could actually start to stray you away, you get what I mean, from where you're going in business. And I think that's a huge recipe for disaster. So that's where I'm getting at, is like, I think that you should look at it in a way where, in my opinion, like where I'm going comes before anything. Like if she's interrupting that, maybe she doesn't deserve to be a part of my journey. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean, and see, my counterpoint to that is it's not like she's not interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
It's the outside variables out of our control that are family. But I do think if things align in the right way, because the goal in the next 12 months is we scale to a certain point, own place or traveling, like a different place, just us, or traveling while working, which would be the dream and separate us from. I think our issue right now is the environment. Like anything else as an entrepreneur, like change your environment, you change everything. I think she needs a change of environment. And once she gets the change of environment and it's just me and her, I think it would work better. Because when I was in the military, we did long distance for like 2 whole years.
Well, so let me ask you a question, John. You've said now to this point that she is understanding and supportive, but there's other outside forces that she can't control that's impacting your performance at work, right? Or your business. So is that really a reflection on her? Are you expecting her to be able to control those people, or
I think
is it the environment as a whole? Maybe it's not even your girlfriend, it's just the environment as a whole.
I think I've had an expectation up to this point that she had to control it. But I think what I'm starting to realize now is that maybe it is out of her control, and I need to see what she is trying to do to control it to the extent that she can. I think it is the environment as a whole, which is why I'm trying to see from you guys with insight the best way to balance it to where I can still be high value, because I'm a high value man. I've done millions of dollars in sales. I mean, great business, powerful network. But I want to make sure I'm also a high value partner.
High value partner. Yeah, it comes down to that. Here's ultimately what I think would be the best thing for you guys is, like you said, being in a different environment. You don't have to move across the world to do that. Just getting yourself and your business up to a point where if it's possible and if it makes sense for you two to live together. Because as a business owner, you guys know this, right? You have to eliminate as many distractions as possible. I remember my friends growing up, some of them like they're totally fine, but there were other set of friends that like I completely stopped talking to them because they just weren't the right connection to be a part of. They weren't the right set of people to be a part of, and they didn't see the vision that I had. So it sounds like you're just in a poor environment, whether it's your girlfriend or not. It seems like you're in a poor environment that you can definitely grow out of. And to be totally transparent, I think you will be the most successful person. I don't think you'll fail if you keep trying. Right, like the only way you fail is like you stop being a good salesperson, you stop trying in business. You're going to be successful no matter what. Maybe it takes you a little longer than you expect because of the roadblocks, but ultimately speaking, one of the best ways to become an amazing partner is just carving out a little bit of time, dude. Like you don't have to dedicate an entire day to her every day of the week. Even just an hour where you guys just go out, get food, talk, and come back, and it takes an hour out of your time.
The key is being present though in that hour.
That is great point. Great value add.
Let me ask you a question onto that. Because this is where I've struggled with the disconnecting from the business. How do I know when to be done?
That's huge.
When your work's done.
I don't know when.
The
to
work
That's
never
huge.
ends.
That's so.
Doesn't
That's
end. I don't know when to
not
be done.
end.
I feel like
It's not like you clock out.
we're not at 100K a month consistent. Like
You set it. So what you need to do is set a goal. It can't be like I need to make 100K, then I'll stop. It has to be like a daily goal. Like, all right, I'll do this amount of inputs, outputs. Trevor and I talk about this all the time. Like, I have to do this many things, and I'm gonna line it up. So whatever happens, whether I get it done or not, I don't care. I have to do. This is the goal that I set. I'm gonna do 800 outbounds today, right? Once you finish that, whether you finished it, actually you want to say the goal and then give yourself a given time period to accomplish it by. I'm gonna do. I said 800. 80 outbounds.
Yeah, I was like, I'm behind.
You want to do 80 outbounds in 3 hours. Whether you get those 80 outbounds done in the 3 hour time period or not, or you're going to set 4 appointments within an hour, whether you do it or not, doesn't matter. Move on to the next part of your day. Because you'll live in this world where you are now of just like, I can't finish until I get this goal done, and you're always chasing the next goal, dude. It's
it
like
turns into an unhealthy obsession.
unhealthy obsession. Well
Yeah, no, I was going through that when I was working a ton. I think this will be helpful. I don't know what like it's a quote from somebody, but if you give yourself all day to do all your tasks for the day, like your brain will find a way for it to take the entire day. Like this is something, exactly.
Yeah.
This is something that like just hit me because I was working 12, 14 hours a day, but you look at those 12, 14 hours and like, did I go look at something on YouTube, or did I dive into some rabbit hole? Like now for me, I'll set a strict time where I stop work based on how I plan out my day. And I actually get more done while working less. Yeah. So I will cut off work at like I'll plan my day the night before and I'll cut off work at 6 p.m. and say, I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend after. I'm gonna force myself to get everything I need to get done for tomorrow within 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
What happens if you don't get it done?
It should.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't
No.
happen.
And that's something that happened to me before. Is I would set too many tasks. That's when I would go to sleep and I'd be like, damn, I haven't done enough. Because I would try to like conquer the world in one day and do all these tasks in my business. The way I go about it now is like I will set one task or one objective for tomorrow that will get me closer to like my master vision, my main goal. That could be $100K a month. What's the one thing that I'm gonna do tomorrow that could take an hour, 2 hours, that I would be satisfied with if I completed that, that's getting me closer to my master vision? So like for me, it's like hitting a certain amount of subscribers and then getting to a certain amount per month, right? And it's like, what's the one thing that I could do that's gonna lead me closer to that goal? So like a common one that I'll do is, draft or make a YouTube video, right? Or hop on my coaching calls. And it's like, I know if I accomplished my one objective for tomorrow, I will be satisfied, and then I could add many objectives under that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that like changed the game for me. And then like, parking as well.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine, he was a mindset coach, and one of the things that I struggled with was creating those right inputs and outputs. And I would procrastinate. I'm like, I know what I need to do to be successful, but it's just so hard for me at times to just get up and do what I need to do. He told me, Alex, go home, go to the store or whatever, and get 2 glass jars and some marbles. And you're gonna set the list of tasks that you need to do, not want to do, not think you could help you, but just need. This has to be done no matter what. And you're gonna fill up 1 jar with a ton of marbles, and every time you complete a task, you move 1 marble to the other empty jar. And that's gonna be your and this is my main point here, is dopamine, right? That's gonna be your gratification, is not the outcome of the task, because I think you're so concerned with what the outcome of the task would look like. It's more so, how can I just complete the task every day consistently? What happens and will end up happening? And you build habits and you focus on getting 1% better every day, it's going to compound over time. People don't, yeah, absolutely. The importance of compound growth is so significant. And it's less, I think you're really wrapped up in like, I need to set all these DMs because I need a ton of appointments, and I need a ton of appointments because I need to close a ton of deals and make a ton of money. But ultimately speaking, if you don't hit those goals, you say to yourself, you failed the day. When in reality, you should be more associating yourself with just doing the set amount of tasks you need to accomplish.
That's the output. Like if you're concerned on like, I need to book 4 appointments today, you don't have control over that, right? Because you don't, like, it's the prospects that are going to be answering your DMs, right? But if you know the input is just to send at least 80 DMs today, like that's the one thing that you need to do. It's going to get you closer to the end goal, right? That's the input to the end goal of 100K a month, and you're chipping away at it, at the inputs, not so much worried about the outputs. And I think doing that will allow you to flip the switch, knowing that at the end of the day, I did my inputs. I don't necessarily care what the outputs are. Of course, you need to look at your feedback loops, but I'm able to be okay with the fact that I finished today with my inputs, and I could flip the switch and go enjoy my time with my girlfirend.
Then you let the man upstairs take care of the outputs.
Yep.
You know what's funny that with all this that I've been thinking about, and then we'll move on to Alex's questions. I've been thinking about doing hypnotherapy a lot ever since reading. I forgot what it was that Rob Dyrdek was talking about. He did hypnotherapy, and now his days are scheduled by the minute. Like when he brushes his teeth.
Oh, that's.
No, I saw that.
That's
He was on a
too much.
podcast with Logan Paul
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
too
that.
much.
I did
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
saw
but he
that.
has a hard beginning,
By the
hard
minute?
stop. He does everything, but he has more than enough time every single day.
Not
with
by
his
the
kids.
minute, but like he's really efficient. He's turned his life, he's programmed his life to be like a machine.
Yeah.
Some people
But
could
then
do it.
how fun is that?
Some people
You're
can't.
not living.
Yeah,
You're
well,
not living.
Well, the amount of things that he has to do in a day, he's a workaholic, so that's how workaholics like him can see the efficiency over time. So
Yeah.
the great thing about the life we live, there's not one way to do it properly, right? We could all live the life we want. But I saw that, and it makes sense for Rob. For us, I wouldn't be bothered to pencil in everything I do at every
Yeah.
moment
Kind
of
of
the
go
day.
crazy, dude.
DM at 8:30, DM at 8:31.
Yeah. Guys, we've been talking a lot of serious stuff, and maybe we could pivot back to it, but I want to ask you guys a fun question here, right? You have $1 million in your bank account,
Oh, God.
and you've been casted to a faraway island. It's a nice villa, right? You have basic utilities besides internet. You have to live there for 2 years. What are the 5 things you would buy to help make your stay as enjoyable as possible? And you have to live there 2 years by yourself. You can't have family members or friends. The only people on the island with you is a maid and chef that lives in the guest house about 3.2 miles away from you. What are the 5 things that you're buying with the $1 million that you have on this nice island?
All I need is a laptop, bro.
You have no internet.
Then you need
You
it.
don't have the internet. There's no internet
What if I
access.
bought
Wi-Fi
an
and
antenna
Wi-Fi.
tower?
No, because there's no
What
internet.
if you buy fiber optic cable running to the island?
What if I created it?
Why are we so
No,
obsessed with the
What are
internet?
your answers?
So this is really great because you see how we can't live without internet. That's scary. So what I would buy is
The internet goes down, dude. It's the end of the world, though. At the end of the day.
Well,
so.
well, there are people that live without the internet.
No,
That's the question.
But I'm saying if the internet goes out,
Yeah.
like it's the end of the world anyways.
Yeah.
The water systems don't work. The power.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day,
Mhm.
we're like we don't have any skills besides the internet. Well, yeah, but then everything doesn't matter if the internet goes down.
Do we
Yeah.
need to hunt here?
No, you have a maid and chef. You have a maid and chef. They cook food. They
You
get
have a
food.
home, you have
different-
all that.
You have a nice villa.
So you're
pool.
saying what do you do for fulfillment?
Just
basically?
Yeah, it'll be like for entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what would you do for fun? You have $1 million. You could buy 5 things. What would those things
I
be?
build a warehouse with a basketball court inside.
Okay, that's one. That's nice.
Do you
add a
play
batting
basketball with
cage.
yourself though?
Batting cage. Okay.
Play basketball by yourself? That's not fun.
No, the maid.
Are there
Check out
animals?
maid. Start crossing her over.
Are there
Can I borrow
animals
her?
on the island?
Huh?
Are there animals?
Yes.
yeah,
there
Christian
is.
and I
I'd
just
buy-
going with hunting.
I'd buy a shotgun.
Uh-huh.
I'd get like an ATV.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
See, he's thinking. I like that.
I'm in water. I'll get like a spear gun.
Yeah.
That's 3. I got 3 so far.
Okay. Like
You need a
scuba gear.
laptop or no?
Yeah.
What about people? Can we buy people?
Huh?
I'm buying Marvel.
No,
You can
can't.
buy people.
You can't buy people. They got rid of that a long time ago. I don't know if you realize that. I would probably I'd buy a camera because what I would do is I'd probably film myself in
Oh,
my
that's
journey
good.
throughout
That's
the entire
good.
time. So
Oh,
vlog
that's
myself. I would buy some boating equipment, like just learn fishing, learn scuba diving, whatever. I like the idea of building a basketball court or something. I'd get really nice, make it to the NBA when I come back. I get a helicopter. I'd buy a helicopter, dude.
Learn to fly.
And just fly. Yeah, learn how to fly a helicopter.
Yeah,
Dude.
but you have
That's
$1 million
kinda
though. How much?
Huh?
How much are helicopters?
500K.
Like, yeah.
No.
All
You're almost.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Christian on that.
You're almost
I
out of
know
money,
it could be a
bro.
couple million.
Nah, you can
Bro,
definitely you
No,
can.
you can get a helicopter.
But
for
everything
500K.
else that I listed wasn't that expensive. Scuba gear,
Yeah.
building a basketball court. I mean, maybe that might be a little much.
You're running
And then
low on-
like the last thing I would get, a camera's like a couple hundred. Last thing I would get probably would be.
You can rent scuba gear.
Yeah, but you still
But I'm
have to
there for
put
2
money.
years, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last thing would probably be like, I don't know, like build a. No, that would cost a lot of money. Get a surfboard. Learn how to surf. I'm on an island. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clarify, man.
Yeah.
So, I'd get a gun as well. I didn't know there were animals on the island.
Yeah.
I'd get stuff for fishing.
Oh, bow and arrow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'd get a small little like motor pontoon boat. Not cheap, not expensive. The rest of the money, I'd build like an amusement center. Whether it be like, I'm a fucking nerd, like arcade, basketball court, bowling, batting cages. You can do that with like 500K.
Okay, wait. So I would like to get a jet ski. Do I get gas with that
Yeah.
too? Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
I would get a jet ski.
Uh-huh.
Jet skis are so much fun. I would get like a jet ski, and then I like your idea of the camera. I would probably go with the GoPro,
Mm-hmm.
so I can do
Yeah.
multiple things like
Good.
water and
Yeah.
yeah. So I do like a jet ski, a GoPro, a bow and arrow because I liked your hunting and we both thought bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Bow and arrow, that'd be sick. And then maybe something for, I like scuba gear. Well, I've never scuba, but I love snorkeling. So I would learn to free dive and scuba. So maybe some scuba gear.
Yeah.
And probably like a decent, all my stuff's super cheap. Probably like a nice sized boat that I could launch, that I could go out and launch the, what's it called? Jet ski.
The
That I
jet
could
ski.
launch the jet ski from. And then that would probably
Nice.
put me close to a
Wait,
million.
so let me get this clear.
Yeah.
You guys don't need clothes?
No.
He said everything. Well, you're on an island.
Yeah.
Chef and a maid, dude, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'll
Naked
go.
and afraid.
We're fine.
I'm naked and wealthy.
Just get leaves and type it up.
Yeah, pull an Adam and Eve, dude. Just go.
Wait a minute. So we're the only ones on that one?
No, he
Maid
said
and
there's
chef.
a maid and a
Maid
chef.
and chef.
This is ridiculous, by the way. I hope.
What's the man
I
look
hope
like?
you guys, yeah, I hope you guys know
What's the man
this.
look like?
This is ridiculous.
What do you want the maid
This
to look
is
like?
absolutely.
What do you want the maid to
ridiculous.
look like?
How much does it cost to be Margot Robbie?
Oh my god, dude. This guy, dude.
Oh wait, I have like
Yeah,
a
we're gonna watch
sub-question.
Wolf of Wall
Can I ask-
Street
can I ask
after
a
this.
sub-question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How long are we on this island for?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you see when we come back after those 2 years? How do you see the online business space, and how do you think you would adapt?
Worse.
You don't have the internet, so you don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't
We're
need
gonna
ads
come
to
back
come
to
with
it.
that camera?
Yeah, you said camera, dude. You have.
Now,
a
by
lot
the
of
time you
content.
film that, it's gonna be outdated.
Mr.
dude.
Beast left me on an island for 2 years.
Yeah, you have a content.
The online business space would just be completely. Think about how fast it's growing, and Trevor had a point on this. Like, it's fairly new still. Like, if we literally take a look at it, it's still so new.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities
Even
out here.
what we do with like coaching, consulting, and business growth, that's
That's the newest thing ever.
so
Yeah.
new. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, wait. I want to hear Trevor's answer. 'Cause Trevor can go.
What about the island?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, laptop.
Okay. No. But you can't get internet
Yeah.
Why?
because he
It's
said
It's in the
so.
prompt. It's in the prompt.
I can buy it.
Nah, dude, you can't get internet. You're in a stranded island, dude.
Oh, a boat would be sick. That's pretty much all I need.
Yeah. Well, none of us said gym equipment. Maybe we
Ooh.
buy some gym
No,
equipment.
you
Hey,
just go
I said
pull up
basketball
some
court.
trees and you go swinging and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Calisthenics
Become
basketball.
Tarzan. Yeah.
Running a lot.
Can I buy a girlfriend?
No.
He said you can't buy people, bro. He
No.
already said
Guys are
that.
out there.
This
Alex,
guy.
did you go to Tulum gym?
I haven't gone. I've been to Tulum, but I haven't gone to the gym. It looks fire though.
I would build one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sweet.
That'd be sick.
You just need a chainsaw, just logs, and then a
Yeah, I
bamboo,
can
and then you
just build it.
You
Actually,
can make 2 years of ads on an island.
It's a nice villa, so it's beautiful.
And then you save that million, come back after 2 years, and spend it all on ads.
If you don't make the money, I guarantee you, I'll give you this island.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Offer.
We got anything else, dude?
Nah, man. I think we hit on a lot of stuff. I think one of the last pieces of questions I guess we can ask each other. You're 35 years old, and you just sold your company for over $200 million in profit. What are you doing now with your life?
Each or a partner, so we each get 100.
No,
It doesn't really matter.
This is
Okay.
your own 200 mil.
Well, me and John are pretty much on the same page. I think we should go first because we can both kind of add some context to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say what ours is. I'll let you say it because I don't want this to copy. So I'm gonna say my other one, but we're in the same age. We both want an island, but I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy a couple thousand acres and somewhere secluded. Maybe Tennessee, maybe Wyoming, maybe Montana. I want to build a self-sustained ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Animals,
I'm
crops,
with that.
I like that.
solar panels, and I want to build a neighborhood where all the people I love and care about can live, and we can just have our own town. We all see each other every day. We all hang out every day.
Mhm.
We have everything we need, pools, our somebody help me, 4-wheeler. All right.
Yeah.
ATV.
ATV. I was gonna say RV,
Uh,
maybe an RV too. Just shooting ranges, everything. I want to be fully self-sustained, off the map, and the rest of the money, I want to invest it so there's enough for anybody else who comes after me, has millions of dollars,
mhm.
and I want to start a contracting company, private contracting company, to stop human trafficking.
Yeah, me
What
and
would you
John are
invest
both
in?
on the same page. Private militia and
Yeah, I mean, my dad's an arms dealer,
Yeah.
so we have connections there, so we can do like a private military that's contracted to different countries to stop human trafficking.
or even in the U.S. alone, dude. I mean, that's a huge problem in the U.S. alone.
Wow.
I mean, it's big and people don't realize it.
And the last part is like my main thing. Hence why I have this tattoo. I really want to start a foundation for less advantaged kids mentally. For my little brother, he's blessed because he's only mildly autistic, so he's still a normal dude, but he still has disadvantages in some spots.
Right.
I really want to I call them high income skill schools, where we can allow them to go and have the same opportunities we do and learn a high income skill, where they still have use today.
Would
to
that be
make
like a college alternative?
My idea is honestly turning it into like a governmentally funded type
Okay.
of school where we.
But would it be like after high school? Would it be like continuing
It could be
education?
in
or-
between. It could be college.
Okay.
It could be for anything. It's like if you want to learn a high income skill and you want to be put in a job, we'll help you do that. Just a foundation to help them have more access.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I don't have as deep of a reasoning or like what I would want to do as you guys. Obviously, like I think something would be great was just building something and putting our income towards creating something better than what we first came with. You know, schools, hospitals. There's so many great things. I want to discover this over the next few years. For me, though, I don't want to just say the candid response that everyone else, like someone else's idea is. I think your guys' idea is really unique, and there's a lot of passion behind what you guys have. I want to find that for me. But one thing for sure, obviously, taking care of all my loved ones, making sure they're healthy, happy, putting a good portion of that into long-term investments. Real estate is the best investment you probably could put money into, as far as years. And then finding that why for me. What do I want to be known for when I leave this earth? So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to get completely off the grid.
Yeah.
Like find a way to literally get like so far off the grid, everything.
Delete everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
No more internet, but you said you wanted the internet so bad in the last.
Well, that's for now. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta make money, but also building a family, of course, too. At the age of 35, I'd definitely probably be at least working towards something at the minimum, and then also too, I want to run a lot.
On your
A
land in
lot.
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you run now?
yeah. Like I'm talking like marathons all the time.
I just got into running. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's the
You're
It's
worst.
so hard.
It's the
No,
worst.
in the future.
I do alternative cardio. I'm not a
Casey
fan of
Neistat's
running.
I'm getting into it, bro.
Yeah, I
Just
think
doing
that's it.
as much hard things. as
It's
I
a
can.
good rite of passage. I remember cross country in high school, dude. It'll turn you into a man for sure, dude. Running those 3.5 miles, you know.
That can change your whole mindset running.
Yeah.
I thought it was silly until you start running.
Yeah.
You're
It's
like,
runner's high. When you get your runner's high, dude, it makes a difference. I'm not the runner though that I used to be, but I'm trying to get back into it. So, yeah.
I'll run firm running. That's about it.
Christian, do you want to wrap us up, man?
With the 200 million question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty similar to all you guys. I feel like all men like intrinsically would like to go off the grid. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What do you guys agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Because the world we live in now is just
Men desire control. We can
crazy.
control if we're off the map.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I want to do. I don't need 200 million for it. Like I
Yeah.
retire
Maybe
the
like
parents,
10.
take care of the family,
Max.
invest, and then just get a ranch.
Yeah.
I said
You
that
got
earlier.
1,000 acres for $2 million.
Dude,
Yeah.
that would be crazy. Yeah, self-sufficient though. Like I want to go like diet, like completely organic, grow my eggs, cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Effectively,
boring answer.
everything you eat, you created.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
sick,
cool.
Like, look at Liver King. Have you guys seen his house where he lives?
Yeah.
Like, he already made
He's
100
balling.
million before he got famous. But
Yeah.
like, he's off the grid. Like, he has everything is
That's sick.
Yeah.
huge house, giant ranch, off the grid.
Yeah. Just his family, and that's all he needs.
That's it.
One last question. We could really quickly answer this, but how much money is enough money for you guys?
Well, John already has his number.
Enough for what?
Just happiness, whatever it is for you.
You mean like a monthly
Happy-
I'm
revenue?
happy now.
Monthly or
Or total?
Well, how much money do you need to have in your bank account to be satisfied and to be able to hit all those goals you guys set? Get off the grid, never have to really
10
interact.
mil.
10 mil?
10 mil cash.
I have a few numbers.
Mhm.
For the legacy to build that I want,
Mhm.
like outrageously number, I want 75 billion. Like I've looked at like other families and like to build an empire. I want that.
Did you say 75 billion?
I did.
They're gonna
I
bring
just
it
wanted
at the
to
stake,
clarify.
dude.
Like, I just wanted to clarify. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna
But,
bring it at the
like,
stake when they hear this.
I'm not gonna say realistically because I think that's realistic. But like if it's just happiness and let's say somebody said you can't have that, but you can have this. 50 million, and you can invest that all and still make millions of dollars a year and live self-sustained and buy everything.
Yeah.
I want to put a lot of the money into different investment accounts for my parents and my brother, so they also have money and don't have to worry.
Yeah.
no?
Nice. How much money is it for me? I would say 10 mil, dude. $10 million with like inflation and everything. That shit's gonna trickle down, but it's still a ton of money. I want to kind of live off the grid. I don't want to get as far off the grid necessarily, because I do have a passion one day to go around and like, I wouldn't say public speaker, but I definitely want to speak at events and masterminds, because I think about the younger generation that, like us, that could benefit from going to these masterminds and speaking to other people. So I still want to be immersed in the world, but I want to be able to take a helicopter, fly, speak at the mastermind, and then fly somewhere else back, like as far away as possible. 10 mil, and then I'm happy with that, personally.
So like if you guys grew this and sold it for 20 each, took home 10, stop. Like next year.
If I sold it, I
I
would
would
stop.
stop working, but
I wouldn't stop working, right? I wouldn't stop working, but I would
stop the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a problem.
I would try to do something sustainable, like some type of e-com business or something that still nets income.
Yeah.
Real estate, probably.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
heard Hermosi talks about it, like when he sold Gym Launch and he got like what it was 100 mil, and he felt more poor after because he wasn't getting like income every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary to me. I don't know, because it's like it's just
Well, it's
10
also-
mil
it's-
just slowly going
Maybe
down.
you just
I don't
never
know.
sell
Well, because
it.
your expenses don't stop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's also a bank. Think about it. FDIC insurance only is up to 250,000.
Yeah.
And even like I use, well, this isn't. I'm not going to plug anything. I use a certain thing that extends over multiple banks. So you know, I get up to 2 million FDIC because they cover it. But that's like, if you have 10 million and the bank goes down, you're out $8 million, and now you have 2 left.
I mean, it just happened to a lot of people.
Is you gotta-
Well, that's
you
what
gotta-
I'm
you gotta
saying.
Spread your wealth.
That's what I'm
Spread your
saying
wealth.
is you can't. To your point of Hermosi, you can't just put it in a bank and be like, all right, cool, we're good.
Bank account, crypto, cash,
Yeah.
real estate.
Gold.
Physical items.
Yeah.
Watches.
Yeah.
Watches.
Yeah.
Watches,
Sometimes paintings,
gold.
depending on how.
Yeah.
Something that you guys don't
Real
think about.
estate.
Ammunition.
Dude, yeah.
Oh,
Ammunition.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Ammunition will
100%.
always go up. It will never go down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's always needed.
I've been working on
We just
my
talked about it.
collection. You know.
Could diverse it a lot.
Yeah.
If the
You
world
guys have
ends
any,
right
like-
now, I'm a billionaire.
Like maintaining
Dude.
wealth tips. What do you guys think about that? Like
I'll let you know when I get wealthy.
Yeah.
From
I mean,
what I've read,
For our age,
Right.
I would say we're in the top 1%.
Yeah.
At
If
a
you,
bare
if you have more than $2,000 in your savings account, you're richer than most people in America, dude.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's-
Well, no.
Yeah.
50% of the entire population of America could not cover a $1,000 emergency expense.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
50%.
Yeah.
Why do you think we have so many problems getting on calls with broke people? It's
Yes.
just like we want to help you. We want to help you, but we also are a business.
Yeah. Yeah, we
At
can't.
the end of the day, we're not a charity. We're a
we can't-
business.
I don't know if you've gotten this before. It's like, yo, just take me in your program. Once I make some money, I'll pay you guys back. No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
We're not a pay now, buy later service. or
When
whatever.
Robert gets here, he might be able to touch on that. He's doing $500K a month.
Yeah.
He's 5 minutes away. He texted me, but he'll be able to touch on that.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up. Go
Yeah,
for it.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We plan on bringing more content like this down the line. Everyone's social medias will be in the description, comment section, wherever you'll find it. And see you guys all next time.
See ya.
Toodles.
Later.